Okay, here's a preview of what we're going to do. Theoretical considerations of the big picture, and then assessment about 925, we hope. And then the treatment approach. But I think the, I need a pointer and a mover together. The treatment approach is like the second half, about 20 minutes, and then there'll be a summary at about 10, and about 10:05, if I'm on target, you can ask questions. Okay, theoretical considerations. It would be nice to have a big picture of what's going on. We hear a lot about theories that help us organize things like psychodynamics, behavioral, existential, which is the basis of Carl Rogers' work. So we all use that stuff all the time. But as you all remember, they don't go together. They conflict. So what are you going to do? And it would also be nice if we had a diagram of the personality so we could see what we're talking about. Hard to find. Took me 8 years to put it together. Not shocking. But I call it the operations model. Here it is. There's the reference if you need it. It was published in 2000. It's about 50 dense pages. And the model in the monograph is a lot more complicated than this. This is simplified, but it'll work for our purposes. So I'm going to go over it. It's going to take a few minutes to do that. This model is hierarchical and sequential. So it goes from top to bottom and left to right. These lines here show that the ego, the decision maker, thinking, cognition, cognitive therapy, and emotion, psychodynamics, all form one kind of system. And then they're protected a little here by defenses. So when somebody says, I don't know what to do, or I'm trying to figure it out, or I'm trying to access myself, this is what they're doing. It's a kind of intuitive thing. They're looking back and saying, what do I really feel? What do I really think? So they put that together, and then you see the numbering is like out of order, but this is actually the order in which we think. 3 is what we want to accomplish. You have to know where you're going to go there. Then 4 is how we're going to get there. Feedback from the environment tells us how we're doing. Are we successful or not? We have to listen to it. If defenses are too big, we're not going to hear. Even though people are telling us 3rd grade is not going well, 4th grade is not going well, we're not sure you're going to the 5th grade, and so on. It's easy to block that stuff out if the defenses are too big. So this is an attempt to put all that together so when we're talking about dynamics in the individual and in the family, we can see what we're talking about. When we hear the word dynamics, sometimes we wonder what the heck that means. But it does refer to a flow. There is a hydraulic metaphor going on. So this is the unconscious back here. This is the power. This is the emotion. This is the feeling. And it's channeled. You can see it's channeled here. These are the channels. And then the flow is controlled. So somebody's sitting in a 3rd grade class and they're all excited. It's almost time for recess. But they keep it together. And then when the bell rings, boom, the doors open, they run out in recess, they have fun, they yell, they get tired. And then when they come back to class, they're back to this. So ideally, effective development results in a reasonably smooth channeling of emotions. It's really critical. Otherwise, the person's out of control. They are acting out. Okay, here's the model. So if you imagine yourself standing right there, or there maybe, looking down the dynamic flow of the personality. You see that? See, there's the person in the back making the decisions, here's the behavior, the flow of energy, and then here's the objective, whatever it is. So that's just an attempt to help you visualize it all and put it all together.